Well, I thought we competed from start to finish. We didn't get off to a great start offensively, but defensively we kept playing and we kept competing. We followed a game plan pretty darn well. Held a team that, you know, we knew we had to score. Our goal was to score 70. And I really felt if we could get there that we'd have a great chance to win. Third quarter, we shot ourselves in the foot. You know, we got in the bonus early, then never attacked. We just held the basketball, settled for jump shots, turned it over, and never really got the opportunity to build onto a lead. So credit them. They did a really nice job. We turned it over there in the third quarter. I think they had scored maybe 10 points off our turnovers just in the third quarter alone, and they only scored 16 for the quarter. So they weren't really scoring in the half court. And then we kind of solved that because I don't think we gave them a point off turnover in the fourth quarter. And that's something we've talked about all year. If we're going to turn the ball over, we need dead ball turnovers. Give us a chance to get back. But I was really proud of every single kid. You know, Marissa Russell came in there in the fourth quarter, had 4 boards, tied for the lead on our team, had 3 offensive, and had 2 huge offensive boards there that really sealed the game for us.
You mentioned that you didn't attack the way you wanted in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, you mentioned you didn't attack like you wanted to in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, I think, was 17 free throw attempts. Was that just something that you were really emphasizing to them in between breaks? How did you attack Duke that way?
No, we sat there and talked about it. As soon as we got into the bonus with about 4:50 to go in the half, I mean, in the game, in that fourth quarter, it was you've got to attack. You can't just settle and put pressure on them. And we did a really good job of that. And then, you know, we got a lead there in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then they fouled a few times on purpose. And then our kids stepped up and made some big free throws. Overall, just a great win, playing some really good basketball at the right time. You know, everyone kind of crosses off the list when we're 6-5. But it's the people that don't know much about our game that, you know, I mean, what are we now, 19-7? And 6 of our losses are against teams I think are ranked like 18 or higher. You know, it's not like we played a bad schedule. And, you know, when you've got 8 freshmen, and our freshmen are playing a lot, and we're counting on them, and they've gotten better and better. And it's fun to watch them.
Jeff, just kind of touched on a little bit, but was that one of the more complete games in terms of defense than also kind of taking a punch to the mouth and bouncing back that you've seen from your team recently?
Well, we've taken a bunch of punches to the mouth, even in games. I mean, we've been up 16, we've been up 18, and then we'll let someone go on a 10-0 run, and now all of a sudden it's a 6-point game. So we played in a bunch of these games. This was just a game where we were never up 18. So I felt good about us being able to execute because we've been there before. A lot of it now was self-inflicted. But today, it was a game of 2 really good teams. Duke prides itself on defense. And for us to put a 70 on the board in their gym was something I don't think they were expecting. But offensively, we feel really good about what we have in terms of kids that can score a basketball. And it showed today. I would say the past month, defensively, we've gotten a lot better. You know, our Cal game was probably the first game that we played a complete game defensively, but that was one where, again, we're up 16, I think, and allow them to cut the lead to 6. So I feel good about where we are. Can we be happy that we won? Of course, but there's still a lot of work to do. I mean, we've got to go home now, and we've got a Carolina team who's very, very good on Sunday, a Clemson team that is playing some good basketball on Thursday, and then at Notre Dame to wrap things up. So there's a lot of games in front of us, and the exciting thing for us is, you know, now we're competing for a top 4 seed, and we've got 2 or 3 at home. So there's a lot of basketball left, and like I said, when we were 6-5, I'm not sure anybody thought we'd be competing for a top 4 seed in this ACC tournament.
Hey, Coach. So Duke shot 50% from the field, but you forced 10 turnovers or your team's defense forced 10 turnovers in the second half, or in the second quarter, primarily coming in on the half-court defense. Can you kind of talk about how it felt like Duke wasn't getting very many easy shots despite making them at a significant clip? Can you talk about just a bit your defensive effort?
I mean, it's kind of surprising. I thought we did a really good job. Now, we turned them over 20 times, and we turned those turnovers into points, which was big for us. We had a point in time, I think, in the first half where, if we weren't scoring we weren't really scoring in the half court, but we were scoring off of a turnover. And that's been our Achilles heel, to be honest with you, is we allow teams to shoot a very high per percentage from the field. And it's something that we've been trying to preach because we give up too many layups. And, I thought Jaden Donovan really made some tough shots, some shots that we were willing to concede, but she made them. And then, Reagan, I thought, played well. But what we did do is we did a nice job defending them at the three-point line. And that's what you have to do. You can't let them make the three. They're very methodical at the offensive end. They're going to, if you can stop the first bit of transition, then it's going to be a set. And, we got beat in the third quarter. Jackson came down the floor in transition, hit one of her threes just straight off a transition. And that was one of the areas that we talked to our kids about. You can't allow them to score in transition. The first quarter, they scored 14, and I think 8 of them were just throw over the top layup, throw over the top, it's a layup. And we kept telling them, make them get in the half court, and then let's see what we can do. And I was just really proud of our team. And I thought, for us, we shot 43% from the game. But we did get to the line 25 times, which was a huge, huge thing for us because we only put them there 4. And we really were just trying to stand in front of them and not foul them. We weren't getting up. We really didn't put as much pressure on them because we knew how athletic they were and how good they attack the basket if you pressure them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned all these freshmen that you got and all these newcomers, and you played a really tough non-conference schedule. But now you've won a bunch of ACC games. Do you feel like it was important for you to play that tough non-con so you could kind of figure things out once you got to this point? Do you feel like people are settled into their roles with all the new faces?
Well, nah, actually, it was pretty stupid on my part. It was really dumb. We didn't, and I say that because we didn't have many ball games in the non-conference that I was able to get kids extended minutes of time that you want to try to do early in the year. I mean, we've got UCLA, Kentucky, and then we're playing South Florida at Colorado. I mean, it's not like it was like you're up 30 and everybody can go play. So that was an area that I'm going to work on scheduling for next year. Because I do all my own, and I've got to do a better job of it. It's called job security. If you schedule too hard, it's not real smart. But overall, I think they learned from those games. I thought we played our first game of the year over in Paris. We played UCLA to a great game. I mean, I think it's a 1-point game in the fourth. And, those things, did we learn from? Yes. And I think a lot of our freshmen, I thought Mac played well tonight. She got in there, she hustled, she competed. She hits a huge 3 in the first half for us. Amari, she had one assist, no turnovers, only played 8.5. And then I've got something like Issa has been playing well. And this was a physical game. It was a game that at the guard spot, they're really strong and physical, and she's working on that part of it. But they're all great kids. The excitement of seeing them cheer for each other after the game in the locker room, that's what I look for. You can spot out the ones that are more concerned about themselves instead of the team. And to see all of them as excited as they were for each other is what it's all about, and that's kind of the core of what our program stands for.
Just real quick, Jada with the season high, not career high. Just talk about she had a lot of buckets when it seemed like they were getting back in a rhythm. She was able to stop a lot of those runs.
No, she did. She made a few big shots in the first half there too. That the three with the shot clock running down over across from their bench. They take a lead. I think in the fourth there. Then we come down the floor, score, and then Jada hits a huge three to put us up 5. Then they come back and tie it up, and it was just a great basketball game. I mean, our largest lead was 8 in the second quarter. Theirs was 4 in the first. I think it was a good college basketball game. Now, too many turnovers by both of us, but overall, I think some kids made some plays, and that's what it comes down to.
I notice your shoes have "Ain't no half stepping" on them. Is that like a team motto, or is that?
No, it's my guy that makes them for me. Swag on 12. I think, is that right? Is that my guy's motto? Yeah, swag on 12. He did it dating back to COVID, and it's pretty impressive. He'll sit there and he hand paints them and hand designs them. And now there's some I don't wear. He's a little too wild at some times, but yeah, he's very passionate about what he does. But and he did those. Yeah. No, he really. It's something else to watch how he can take a pair of shoes, because I tell him he doesn't always buy new ones. He'll sit there and find a pair for $5-6, and then he's learned how to get the yellow off the cap toe and get it all brand new white, and then he paints them up, and then I'm always like, so do we know whose foot was in there? So we Lysol heavily. But yeah, he does a great job. That's right, shoe guy. That's exactly right. I appreciate y'all. Thanks so much. Sorry about bringing the snow.